Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Atan, and in today's video, we're gonna be doing a week 5 of the CDL Stage 2 Major 2 predictions. This week is extremely important for a multitude of different reasons. First of all, it officially marks in 2 weeks the tournament starts. So pretty much this week confirms which teams are making it and which teams aren't. For example, the first game, Cloud9 versus Toronto. If Cloud9 loses that game, they're not making it. So this week is super, super important to win. And yeah, let's kick things off with these predictions. Last week I did pretty decent. Um, like I got one, I got two, three, four, five, six, seven. I got seven predictions right. So there's about there's like what? There's like 11 matches a week because there's four in each day, except for Friday. So 7 out of 11 isn't too terrible, but let's do better this week. Starting off with Cloud9 New York versus Toronto Koi. I just can't see this Cloud9 team winning. I think they're gonna struggle a lot. I think that Gentlemates win got to them. This team is very, very talented, but they're really inexperienced. They make a lot of mistakes. And I think Toronto would just exploit that. Toronto's a really, really good team. They have way better fundamentals. If Cloud9 is going to win a map, it'll most likely be Search and Destroy. But man, like this team can be solid. I thought they were gonna build like momentum. I thought they were gonna build something after beating mates, but it all went crashing down. This team is definitely not making Major two. But I can see this team being good in Major three. Like honestly, they have potential. They all can shoot. It's just the fundamental, like the system isn't there. They need to build a system for themselves to really get going. Heretics versus Falcons. This one is really, really interesting. I think both of these teams are very hard to rate. Both of them are really, really inconsistent. Both of them can beat any team in the league, but they can also lose to any team in the league. Miami kind of went on the weird slump where they were just like genuinely bad throughout Major One. Then they performed decently on land, and then these in Major Two they look good. Falcons are up and down. Like Falcons are so like streaky. If they hit momentum, they'll be dangerous. But if this team, loses one or two series, I could completely see them just like losing to everybody. This is such a hard prediction because I don't know which version of which team we're gonna get. But man, I have a feeling that Falcons is actually gonna get the upset. I think they really, really want that higher seed. They do look better, honestly. XNet is playing a lot better. Pred is so good. Pred has been so good in Black Ops 7. So good. So I'm gonna go with Falcons. Then we got the Optic Texas versus the Paris Gentlemates. I'm also gonna go with another upset here. I'm gonna go Paris Gentlemates 3-2. I think, listen, Paris Gentlemates have not been looking good, but I think with this week off, knowing that they have to perform, get these wins, I think they're gonna come out and actually perform. On top of that, Optic are actually gonna be practicing new maps, I've heard from JP on stream. So they're going to be testing out the map pool, and I do think they'll drop a couple maps there. So, like, bro, if Paris just locks in and they perform how we know they can perform, they will win the hard points. We know that they can be better than Optic and S&D, and Overload is a pretty much guaranteed win for Optic Texas. So I can definitely see Paris Gentlemen to win in this series, but I could also see Optic just 3-0 in them and Paris continuing this slump. I wouldn't be surprised for either outcome. So yeah. Carolina Royal Ravens versus G2 Minnesota on Saturday. This is gonna be a G2 win. I don't see a 3-0 just because G2 isn't the cleanest team, but I do see a dominant win from G2 Minnesota. They just look insanely good in S&D. Second matchup, Toronto for versus Vancouver Surge. Not much to say. Vancouver Surge is not making Major two. Or if they do make it, they're gonna be in the plane because this team is not good, right? Like even though they got capsuled, even though they did go on a two-game win streak, this team is just not good, right? Like this team is not really gonna do much with capsule or TJ. Like I don't want to be like a dick, but this team just isn't that good, honestly. Toronto Koi is way better. Cloud9 New York versus LA Thieves. Again, LA Thieves are gonna destroy Cloud9. I'm actually gonna give Cloud9 a map. I also don't rate LA Thieves that highly. I think they're struggling a lot, but I do have a feeling that they're gonna drop a map to Cloud9. So Cloud9 will get a map, but they won't get more than that. And at the end of the day, off we got Boston Breach versus the Paris Gentlemen. I could actually see a world where Breach wins this. And I'm actually gonna say this is I think this is gonna be a really tight, like I'm gonna go 3-2 just because it's kind of like a must-win series from Boston. So you're most likely gonna get the best out of all of them. So I can definitely see them getting multiple maps. But I don't think they'll beat Paris Gentlemen. It's like if both teams, if both of their major two, like if both of them are trying to make major two, right? Everything is on the line. Which team is more likely to beat which team? It's Gentlemen. It's Gentlemen. 100 times out of 100, honestly. Sunday, Boston Breach versus G2 Minnesota again. Boston have a really tough schedule. G2 is gonna win this 3-1. Like G2 is gonna dominate this weekend. They have a pretty easy schedule. I'm gonna go G2 Minnesota. Miami Heretics versus Vancouver Surge. I'm gonna go Miami Heretics. I'm actually gonna give Vancouver Surge one map, but Miami Heretics will take care of business there. I don't see Vancouver Surge beating Miami Heretics. LA Thieves versus the Riyadh Falcons. These are a rematch. Last time LA Thieves won, I think it was actually the first week of the season. Completely different teams now. Okay, who would actually win this? Wow. If Falcons beat Heretics on Friday, it's gonna give them a lot of dope. I can't trust LA Thieves, but I can't trust Falcons. They're really, really streaky. But I'm gonna go Falcons. I have a feeling that they're actually gonna win this 3-2. It's gonna be a really close series, very tight, back and forth. But I do think Falcons will be LA Thieves. I think with how both teams have been playing, I can definitely see Thieves losing this more times than Falcons would lose. So yeah. And then Ravens versus FaZe. I think FaZe will end off the stage with a 3-1. I think it'll be pretty dominant. I don't see many 3-0s except for this one. Like Surge versus Toronto is definitely gonna be domination. But for the most part, it's gonna be a really competitive week, which is what is obviously good for us. So yeah, those are week 5 predictions. Let me just save them. And yeah. Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down there in the comment section below which teams you think will win. And yeah, turn on post notifications, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.